Oh.
So welcome to Adelaide Hillsbillies. So I'm Sheree Sullivan from Utter Delight.
And I'm TJ from Chain of Ponds.
And we are delighted to spend the afternoon with you. And really our whole goal and mantra is to demystify cheese and wine one bottle at a time, to ask the questions that perhaps have been at the back of your mind, but you've been a little bit too scared.
Too afraid to ask.
Yeah, to ask. So that's what we're all about. So we really love the good stuff, but we also we want to keep it real. So we've got a list of questions here that we're going to ask of each other, but we're also really open. If you guys have any questions, then you feel free to ask those of us.
Type them in the comments and we'll try to answer them as best as we can.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to start with, how do you actually match cheese and wine? So what is it that you're looking for from a wine perspective, or even from a food perspective, when we're matching cheese and wine? So go.
Okay, I go in the wine snob kind of element of it, and I say that there's a complementary and a congruent way.
Okay.
So complementary pairing is a like different taste. So think lime and coconut. And then you've got congruent, which is like. So I say beef and mushrooms.
Okay, so I'm going to interpret that. And
Demystify
it. So when I am looking in particular to match cheese and wine, if one of the cheeses is really fresh and acidic, I'm looking for a fresh and acidic wine to match with it.
So you've got a chef, your goat's cheese, and I'd pair that with a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Which probably leads us into the way that is a regional pairing in France.
Yeah. But anyway, that is like. And then the difference would be blue cheese is quite strong and quite a big flavour, and quite salty, but I often serve that with honeycomb or fortified wine.
Fortified wine, so you got the sweet.
Yeah, sweet salty. Yep. So it's opposite. So opposite is complementary.
Complementary, and like is?
Congruent.
Yes.
I still get confused after all this time. But you said regional pairing.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me about regional pairing?
Okay, so in France, we always say that the wine has existed for hundreds of years. And then all of a sudden, cheesemakers came along and matched the cheese to these wines.
Yeah, so I had a bit of one of those moments when I was researching for a dinner that I was hosting, which featured French wine and French cheese. And I knew that wine was made in regions of France. So here, we're from the Adelaide Hills, so we'd go, in Lobethal, I know they grow Shiraz and I know they grow Sauvignon Blanc, and they grow so many wines in Lobethal. But if we're in France, we would actually say, I'm having a Lobethal. And
you can only have that one varietal in that region.
Yeah, so the French don't call it the grape variety, they call it the region it's grown in. And so if you imagine you've got this map of France and say at the top is where all the champagne's made, and at the bottom is where all the red's made. And so what happened is the cheesemakers had to make a cheese that was going to match that wine. So cheese is also of the region. So I have got a little bit of show and tell here. So
something we prepared
earlier. So I'm actually going to bring it quite close. Now this is a map of France, and at the top, this is Champagne, and this is where Brie is made, because that was considered an awesome match, Brie and Champagne. And then in the middle, you see this little goat cheese. Goat cheese is made there, and that's where the white wines,
Sauvignon Blanc,
Chablis, sort of around there. So whites are there. At the bottom, you see all these blues, and this is the Cab Sauves and the...
So that's Bordeaux.
Yes.
So we've got the Cabernet Sauvignon, and then we've got Merlot. So actually that's a pairing we're doing here as well. And then down we've got Shiraz.
Yeah, and then across the side, we've got some wash rinds on both sides, interestingly. And at the top with Rieslings, and think of an aged Riesling with a wash rind, it's amazing. And then the firmer cheeses down the side, we've got also with some reds. So to me, I had one of those moments of, wow, I get this now.
Yep.
So
I think everyone wants to eat cheese and drink wine right now.
So the regional pairing for us is that in the Adelaide Hills, we make a lot of Sauvignon Blanc.
Yep.
We make a lot of Chev. It's just this ultimate regional pairing. And we've got a few here. So whether we get around to talking about them, I'm not sure. But at least we just wanted to explain that to you. So I'm gonna go to my next question, which is, in your opinion, when you were doing a cheese and wine tasting, do you drink the wine and eat the cheese, or eat the cheese and drink the wine? What's the order?
I think the audience should also submit their comments with this one, because it is a chicken or the egg. I usually drink the wine, and I use the word lubricate, but drink the wine, then eat the cheese, and then drink the wine again.
Yeah. And that's fair. And TJ has taught me something, and I'm so unco. But tell me, I want a visual display. Tell me how professionals drink wine.
Oh,
so it's the swirl.
This is live as well.
Yeah, it is live.
So we swirl it, and I use a tabletop because I just like the security rather than wherever this goes.
Now we're going to unpack swirling in a minute. Show me the next thing.
Okay, you sniff.
So you sniff, but then what's the final thing?
You try and drink.
But I remember. Oh, I knew you'd do that. But I remember
swirl your mouth
when you sniff. You have to sniff with your mouth open.
And then how did you do it with your cheese?
Well,
you do it reverse.
Well, I just think as I spilled my